If I were to go back and talk to my younger self, leave behind this video so that he can have a better life, to share with him the secrets of life, this would be one of those videos. Today, I want to talk to you about finding the pot of gold, the rainbow's end. We're all searching for it, and yet it remains such an elusive thing for most of us, maybe even for all of us. So today, Savada, I want to come to you with this video so you can spend your life differently than I did. So you can spend your life knowing this pot of gold, actually finding this pot of gold. And that's what this video is going to be all about, the rainbow's end. So before we actually go there, the first thing that comes to my mind is the story of the fish in the ocean. And I'm going to completely butcher this story, and you might have already heard it, but I will give it to you anyways. The fish in the ocean who swims around and asks all the other fish about this elusive thing called water. Where can he find water? And he keeps getting the same response, this is water. And he says, no, this is the ocean, but I'm looking for water. And when I tie it to this story, the first thing that's going to come to your mind is that the pot of gold is exactly where you are right now, in the presence. And that's what most people would probably conclude to. And I want to say yes. So I'm not saying that's not correct. Yes. But the pot of gold I'm talking about today, the end of the rainbow, is way beyond that. But of course, I need to acknowledge first that your present moment, the fact that you are breathing right now, the fact that you woke up today, the fact that you actually get a chance to live is already a pot of gold within itself. There's no doubt about that. So all this rainbow's end talk, the pot of gold. So first thing I want to tell you is don't be mistaken. There's not just one pot of gold, right? With one rainbow leading to it, right? But there's tons of them, okay? This world is abundant. All these pots of gold with all these rainbows leading to them. They all exist. They are all there. Now, as you're experiencing life, this is you looking that way, looking for the rainbow's end, wanting to find the version of you that's standing at one of these pots of gold. However, I hate to disappoint you. This will never work. And this is the reason why this rainbow's end, the pot of gold, remains so elusive for most people. Because this is how they approach it, just like I approached it. And that's why I'm sending this video to you so you don't do the same mistake. In order to really understand this rainbow's end and how we can find it, we actually have to go deeper into the understanding of how life actually works. You see, you're standing here and you're looking that way towards this elusive pot of gold, right? But that's a fallacy. This never exists. It never will exist. It cannot exist. The only thing you actually know about life is everything that existed in your past. In your past, all the way up to where you are right now. So when you think you're actually looking into the future, when you're daydreaming into the future or making plans into the future or any of that nonsense, You think this is what you're thinking about, what you're fantasizing about. But this doesn't really exist. As I drew all these pots of gold, all of this is a potential. And you don't know if the universe from this point will split into this. You don't know in what direction the universe will split, because it's not just your decision. There's all 8 billion people in this world, and all living beings, animals, plants, trees, they're all in combination creating the new path that the potential of the universe will take as we inch ourselves forward. Really, that's also not correct, because it's always the same thing. It's an illusion for us that it feels like going forward, but it's really always the same moment. It's just a reiteration, a reshaping, a remolding, but we don't need to get too far into the detail of that, because we're swaying off what is important. So if this all is a potential and doesn't exist, what I mean is, when you're looking forward, what you're actually doing is you're taking parts of your life, parts of your past, parts of your memory, parts of your experience, the things that make you, and you're combining them in the way that gives you an illusion of the future, that gives you an illusion of looking forward. But you are never looking forward. Even what seems like looking forward, it's just parts of your past that you arrange with this magnificent brain of yours to create an illusion of forward looking, but it never is forward looking. It's a projection based on that which you are and that which you know. And it's almost like a hypothesis of one of the possible combinations that the potential of the particles in the consciousness of the universe could be taking. And let me tell you, you'll be wrong, because it's not just you. It's everything, every living existence that creates it. You might be close sometimes. The more experience you get in life, the closer you can get. But there'll always be a delta. So, if life then is you, that's actually, you're not looking backwards. You're looking forward, but the arrow starts here. Okay? You're still looking forward, but you have to understand where the arrow starts. So really what this means is, you have a mirror right in front of you that always, at all points of time, allows you to see everything that's behind you, meaning you. That mirror really shows you you. And based on what you're seeing in the mirror, you're actually looking forward from that point of the reflection, okay? And depending on what you do in life, your memory and your experience and your depth might be super deep, so this is a very long arrow. Or you make some mistakes like me, where a lot of your memory will get cut off because you just wasted years of your life doing things you shouldn't have done. And your arrow will be rather short because, you just don't remember. So, but also that, I will make a separate video for you about that. That's not where we are. So, if we see the projection of this arrow like this, now we can actually localize that pot of gold. So, you, the mirror, and your vantage point, right? This is your vantage point. You'll hear me talk about your vantage point a lot. This is what it is. So based on this, you should know by now, or you should understand now, that even if there is a pot of gold here, you can actually never see it. It is impossible for you to see anything beyond this mirror. This is the only way you can see, and the arrow will only last to the point where you're currently standing. This is not a geographical standing. It's not a physical standing. It's in the trajectory of the energy of life, where currently the energy that is you is in the space and time of universe. Based on that, the function of how all of this works and how your three-dimensional manifestation interlaces with the function of the universe and brings these universal rules and laws for you that you have to abide in, because that's life. You cannot see this pot of gold. But as I told you, there's been plenty of pot of golds everywhere, and you've passed a whole lot of them. So that's how you even know about them. You can only dream about the things you know. So, but what good does this do you, huh? So rainbow here, rainbow there, and you have FOMO because you wanted to. You see all those pot of golds that apparently weren't for you, but you want one too. So you're looking into the future, trying to find this pot of gold, the rainbow's end, what we're all looking for. Why? Because we all see it in the mirror behind us. This, my friend, is how life works. And when you understand that this is how life works, especially with a mirror and the projection of your vantage point, when you truly understand this, then you will understand the secret of life. This secret, right? So I have to say, just like I will tell you in every video, this one video is not the end-all, be-all secret of life. The universe and life is so complex and so deep that I could make a million of these videos and we'd still not be done, okay? But all of these videos I do for you, they're a part of life, a part of how this universe functions, a part of the nuance of the magic of this dance of life. And each part of them, when you understand them and integrate them into you, they will bring you closer to that experience that you're looking for. Really, this rainbow's end is you using all of these videos I'm sharing with you to live them out that way. And when you live them out that way, you will have found the rainbow's end. So, what does this really mean? Let's look at the pot of gold. How do we find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Based on what I just told you, the pot of gold you can't ever see in your future. You can only see the pot of gold in your past. Okay? Now you might say, well, what's the good in that? If I can only see it in the past, why we're having this conversation? It is exactly because of that why we're having this conversation. Because that might have sounded like the stupidest sentence to you, but in that sentence lies almost all of the wisdom of life that I could ever share with you. You can only see it in your past. So what does it mean? That pot of gold that you think is a destination actually is only a memory. And it can never, ever, ever be the same. Because even if the pot of gold was here right now where you're at, you're the fish in the water and you cannot see this. Because the mirror, I should draw it more accurate, because the mirror is also right here where you are. And it doesn't show it yet. Until you have not moved past that pot of gold, you cannot see it, okay? You might be in the ocean, in the water right now, yet you're still standing there asking, where's the water? Somebody lead me to the water. Where is the rainbow's end? Now, I want to be clear here. Not every moment of life is the rainbow's end. If somebody tells you that, they're full of crap. Sorry to tell you, I wish I could tell you you can manifest a way of life where everything is gold all the time. That's a secret of life I don't know. That's wisdom of life I don't know. Hopefully somebody else will come into your life and teach you that. But I'm not going to teach you a lie. I'm not going to teach you something I don't know. I'm going to only show you the thing that I know. And that is exactly that. Even if you're standing in the pot of gold right now, even if you're standing on the foot of the rainbow's end, you will not be able to perceive it based on the principle of how this three-dimensional manifestation of life works, the way your eyes work, the way your mind works, the way this universe works. A part of it. I'm not saying it's the full definition of the universe. Again, this is a collection of videos. Don't get too stuck on one being the gospel. It never will be. So, what does this mean now if we can only see the pot of gold in the rearview mirror? That means your life is a collection of these boxes. As you're moving forward, you have no idea which box will be filled with what. Can't see the future. And you really can't see the current moment either. Some of these boxes will be filled with pots of gold. Some of these boxes will be the rainbow's end. And some of them won't. And you may think, oh, that really sucks. No, it doesn't. It is this fact which makes this person alive. Because if he were to die today, if I were to die today, I know that I have lived. I would walk off this earth with such a full heart, with some memories of some experiences of a life that just blew my mind. Unfathomable in a way I can never depict to you in a video like this. These pots of gold, you'll just have to find out for yourself. And it's a sort of melancholy, but not in a bad way, but this melancholy of only having seen it in the past, but being so grateful that you were alive, that you have lived it, and that you have this memory, that you actually lived through it. However, and this is where it gets to the secret of life that I wish I would have known. Every single one of these boxes could be it, and you don't know if they are or not. And unfortunately, I have lived a lot of these boxes, and some of them were a pot of gold. But I didn't notice because, I didn't know. I thought I will see the pot of gold, and it was there, but I didn't notice. So I wasn't really present. I didn't give my all to this box of life. I kind of just winged it and whatever, and I'm looking for the pot of gold. I will find it. I'm focused and concentrated on finding the rainbow's end while I was standing at the foot of the rainbow's end. And because of that, I draw them like this. Just these tiny little pieces of the pot of gold, tiny little pieces of that which this should have been. Because I wasn't fully there. I didn't give myself fully to this moment of life because my attention, my awareness was in this elusive thing that doesn't really exist. So that's my only regret for some of these boxes. Some of them I was fully there, and that's why I can even give you this video. But there's a lot of them I wasn't. And I wish for you that you don't do the same mistake as I did, and you fill out every box to the fullest extent. Even if that means you're giving yourself fully to a box and you're filling it out with all that you are there for life. And it's not a pot of gold. It just remains empty, right? But taking this chance means that when there is a pot of gold, you will have been there. You will have lived, and you will have drank from this fountain. You will have eaten out of this pot of gold. You will have bathed in the light of this rainbow that was shining right on top of you as you're standing at the foot of it to the fullest extent. And you will have taken with you life, which doesn't mean this right here is not life. Don't misunderstand me. This is equally as worthy as that. All of life, be there for it. But there's just special things, special moments in life that we get. So make sure that you give yourself to life in a way that if it turns out to be that pot of gold that is right now, that when you stand in the future and the mirror shines back on it, that pot of gold doesn't remain empty, but it's full. Because here's the secret to the pot of gold. It's not full when you get there. You actually fill it. And that's what makes it that pot of gold. The universe provides you with a light of the rainbow where you get to stand. It provides you with this frame, the container, the pot. But the pot of gold will remain empty if you're not there. It will remain empty if you just don't give yourself to it, if you don't dive deeply and passionately into that moment of life. And why? Because most of the time, you're trying to find this elusive pot of gold because you still think that that pot of gold is actually full of gold. You don't understand that you are the gold. It's the rainbow that shines the light on top of you as you stand on the foot of the rainbow. And it's the life that creates this container, the frame, which includes all the people and all the living things and all the things of life itself, your breath, your attention, your awareness, your eyes, your ears, your hands, everything. And the dance between you and all these things, meaning you and yourself, you and life, you and the light, you and the people, you and the plants, you and the trees, whatever you're dancing with in the moment, is what fills this pot of gold. That's where the gold really lies. And that is the reason why the only place you will see a pot of gold is in your past. It's in your memories. Because everything that you see in front of you, and this is what most people don't understand. It's just an empty vase, an empty container. They look at it, they're like, nope, no gold in here. No gold in here. And all these empty containers, and there's just no gold in those pots. Because they don't understand this principle. And light may even be shining on them. And when it shines on them, you even see it, oh, that's empty. So this definitely can't be a rainbow, because if this was a rainbow, then that pot be full of gold. But they didn't understand what gold actually is. And don't get me wrong, I need to humble you for a moment. It's not just you. It's you and everybody else. Okay? All of life. In some pots of gold, you fill them by yourself. Some moments it's just you. You might be around other people, but you'll know this pot of gold is just me. This is my container. And some of them, and hopefully most of them, you are filling not just you, but also other people, other things, everything. Such a gift to be here with each other. Such a gift. I mean, it's great things you're going to experience by yourself. But the greatest thing that happens in life is when energies collide. Because then we're going to have to go into the meaning of life video, and I don't want to get there. But when energies collide, if you really think about the purpose of life, the purpose of this three-dimensional manifestation is for energies to collide. Because if it was just about you and this enlightenment and ascending to another dimension, don't listen to them. They're fools. They're absolute fools. If it was just about you, then you'd be sitting in a black box. This whole three-dimensional existence is so that energies can collide. And what a gift it is that energies can collide. Because when energies collide and we fill this pot of gold, we become the pot of gold. This is my gift to you today, my friend. I wish I knew this when I was your age. It's not too late for me now. I'm still young. I got plenty of pots of gold to fill in my life. But I truly wish I would have known this, because I look in the mirror and there's plenty of these pots that remained empty because I didn't give myself to it fully. I wasn't there for it. I was always looking for that rainbow's end, for that pot of gold that I can find. But that's not how life works. This, my friend, is how life works. So don't go find your pot of gold. Be your pot of gold. Not just for yourself, because in this box that may seem empty for you, you might have been a part of somebody else's pot of gold. It might have not meant something to you, so you don't see this pot of gold, and that's okay. But give yourself even to this box, because that means you were a part of somebody else's pot of gold. Just like they or someone else will be a part of your pot of gold. This gift that we give to each other. Life. I'm drifting too much into the meaning of life video. I promise you I will make a video about this, but I hope you get my drift. So don't think, oh, is this empty? Don't stand here always trying to figure out if the box is empty or not. Don't stand here trying to always figure out if the rainbow is shining or not. Every single box, you fill it. 1000%. Every single box. And afterwards, you will know if there was a pot of gold or there wasn't. If there was a rainbow or there wasn't. Sometimes it was for you, sometimes it was for someone else, and sometimes it's just an empty box. Why? I don't know. And that's okay, because that's the secret of life that I haven't found yet. And when I do, I'll even tell you about the empty box. But for now, I'm just gonna call it an empty box. However, I can guarantee you, well, not guarantee you, it is most likely that there's a secret of life to be found even in that empty box that I can't see yet. And because it can be found, I will even give all of me to this box. Because when it is to be found, I was there and I have lived. So that the day I look at the box, the melancholy that I have about these boxes is not about regret. It's not about I could have, I should have. It's about, I am so melancholical about this because the moment was so beautiful. Life was so deep and beautiful that I wish I'd still be standing in this box. That is the kind of melancholy you want to live with. Because there's, oh, be happy all the time. Sure. Whatever. But if you have lived a life so deeply and fully that you're melancholical about your memories, because life was just so grand and deep and beautiful, and it touched you in ways that you couldn't have even fathomed. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean all the pots of gold or sunshine and tropical islands and beaches. No. Sometimes they're even filled with tears. But tears with things that meant so much to you, that touched you so deeply. moments in life where energies collided and you got to share and witness with someone else life. And this guy, he knows he has lived. And whenever it's the last mirror he looks into, he won't be content leaving, ever. I will tell you, I'll never be content leaving. But I'll be okay. Because I have lived. I have given myself fully and deeply to all of these things. And because of that, life has given itself to me. And our energies collided. And I can sit here now, tell you this. And I wish for you that you start this way earlier than I did. So that when you sit here on this chair, you can tell me much more than I can tell you today. So that you can sit here and tell me you have lived. Because that's all I wish for you. That you can say, I am at peace. No matter what happens from this moment on. Because I have felt, I have seen, I have touched, I have done it all. I have lived. There's no bigger gift than that. When life has touched you so deeply that you carry it with a sense of melancholy because you wish that this will never end.